On October 2nd, 2019, a young man from St. Andrews, a small Canadian seaside town in the province of New Brunswick, joined forces with a slightly older man from New Haven, Connecticut in the United States to try their hand at a sports show on CHCO, the community TV station in St. Andrews. The result was something station manager Patrick Watt called, quote, cringeworthy, and that was one of the kinder reviews. But 5 years and 76 episodes later, the show is somehow still on the air. So now, here's two guys who promise to make the next 5 years of their show as mediocre as the first 5, Evan and Joe.
Welcome to the debut edition of Mc&T Sports Report here on CHCO-TV. I'm Joe Ticotsky, and this is my co-host, Evan McFarlane.
I'm Joe Ticotsky down in New Haven, Connecticut.
I'm Evan McFarlane here in St. Andrews.
And you're watching the 5th anniversary episode of Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. Evan, first off, this is our 76th episode, and I'm very rarely speechless, but after watching that clip from our very first episode, I am sort of speechless.
Oh, man.
Congratulations to us, first of all. Did you think this thing would still be going after 5 years?
No, watch the first episode. I'm surprised it kept going after 5 episodes. Holy smokes, that was... I mean, camera work, as always, was great, but that was pretty rough by myself and mine truly over there, Hugh.
Now you know why musicians don't like doing their old songs in concert.
Oh, man.
Well, let's stop babbling about ourselves here because we found some other people to do that for us. So we have a number of congratulatory clips, and we will start out with the first 4, our announcer, Mark, who does the openings, then followed by CHCO station manager Patrick Watt and our show's editor, Florence Mitchell.
Hey, a quick congratulations and shout out to Evan and Joe on their 5th anniversary of Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. I'm Mark. I'm the guy that does the intros. And Evan, I've never met you, but I feel I know you since I've watched every episode. And Joe, we go back to the mid-40s at the University of Connecticut. And, we were roommates then and still friends amazingly. So congratulations to both of you. It's a wonderful show. It's not only sports, it's a little bit of everything, and I'm learning a lot about Canada. So thanks very much, and congratulations. Take care.
Well, congratulations, Evan and Joe. 76 shows. Thank you very much for all your efforts you've put in over the last 5 years here on CHCO Television.
Hey guys, happy 5th anniversary. It's Flo here at the CHCO Broadcast Center. I'm the one that Joe makes all the bad jokes about at the end of every show. And my God, they're bad. But I just don't have the heart to tell him. I guess I just did. I never could have known years ago that this show would be the pinnacle of my editing career. If I had known, then maybe I would have gone into trucking instead.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm not surprised they wanted to put more of their stuff in than ours. 'Cause I think any show or workplace or team needs a number of people to be successful. And we're extremely fortunate to have the group we do, like Mark, Patrick, and Flo for, 76 episodes, right? We're not keeping this afloat by ourselves.
That's right. And Flo told me when I asked her, she said, there's no way you'll get Patrick on camera. He never appears on camera. So that's Patrick. I don't know if I have some old pictures of him as blackmail or what, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Well said by you there. We are pretty lucky to have a lot of people helping us out here. And next up, we have a few more clips from local St. Andrews celebrities, Tom Liston and Elias Eldridge, followed by Connecticut celebrity Brandon Sherrod, and then 2 of my family celebrities, my sister and niece.
Nice.
Let's take a look at those.
Hey, Joe and Evan, huge congrats. 5th anniversary, huge deal. I think you're into 75 episodes or so. It's amazing. Thank you for everything you do for the world's oldest basketball court. We really appreciate all your exposure and support, but more importantly, thank you for everything you do for the community, whether it's junior golf, or just everything within the community, including Joe's summer camps. Really appreciate it. Here's to 5 more. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Evan and Joe, congratulations on 5 years of Mc&T Sports Report. Can't wait to see how the next 5 years play out, and go Huskies.
Joey T and Evan, just want to say congratulations on the 5th year anniversary of your show. I'm grateful to have been a guest, and you've really been able to carve out a great community in St. Andrews. Wishing you guys another 5 to 10 at least, and maybe we can get you on some cable television. See you guys.
Hi, I'm Sue. I am Joe's much younger sister, and
I'm Tessa, his niece.
And he's known as UJ or Uncle UJ in our family. So Evan and Joe, I just want to congratulate you on a really great 5 years. It's gotten better and better. It's very enjoyable and it's quite professional. And you have a lot of really interesting that's repetitive, but human interest stories. And I enjoy it. So congratulations, keep having fun with it, and to another 5 years and more.
I tell you, man, Brandon, the guy looks cool no matter what he is doing. He was strolling through the Yale campus there as he was speaking, and I just want to be 1/10 as hip as him, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. You are 1/10 the height of him. That is close.
Exactly. And intellect too. All right, we will save our last 2 congratulatory clips for the end of the show, and you'll really enjoy both of those. But for now, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, the mayor of St. Andrews will join us as we continue to celebrate the 5th anniversary of Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. Welcome back to the 5th anniversary episode of Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. For this special episode, we thought long and hard about what guests to have on the show. And since the show originates from St. Andrews, Evan and I both thought it would be apropos to have on the mayor of St. Andrews, Brad Henderson. Brad has been mayor since May of 2021, and fun fact, he actually went to high school with Evan. So without further ado, let's welcome in the mayor of St. Andrews, the Honorable Brad Henderson. Brad, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. 5 years, that is impressive to say the least.
Surprising and impressive, I guess. Since we are a sports show, well, let's start out with some sports questions. Before we get to hockey, what other sports besides hockey do you enjoy?
So hockey by far is my number one sport, but I actually right now as we speak am coaching soccer and cross country at Vince Sebastian Elementary School. So soccer at the high school, cross country at the elementary school, and I also like to do a little bit of curling. The fact that you can take a drink while you compete in a sport is very attractive to me at this point in my sports career. So curling's right up there. Of course, it is a good sport to watch, and Canadians just happen to be pretty darn good at it.
Yeah.
Joe, you should see him coaching cross country. He just drives his car behind him and honks the horn.
I do faster. I do volunteer to go at the back and the kids at the back in elementary school, they are walking. So yeah, I could literally wear my suit and still be okay if I was in meetings all day.
Now back to hockey. How'd you start out as a Bruins fan? Who got you on the bandwagon?
Lost a bet.
The truth is I was a very good student, and very early on, I realized when I saw something good, you should support it. So it would have been 1987. Everybody was cheering for Montreal for whatever reason. I never got really into the whole Montreal Canadiens thing. And then I watched Cam Neely and Ray Bourque play, and it was something that happened on my own. And little did I know I would convert so many people around me, from my parents to my 4 kids, except one likes the Florida Panthers now for a year and a half. And, well, he was right. Yeah, it's early on, just watched on television on CBC when they were playing Montreal. I think it went to 7 games. It might have been round 2 of the playoffs. And from that point on, the Bruins have been my team. And I don't have a tattoo because I don't like needles. But if I did like if I was okay with needles, I would definitely have a Bruins tattoo.
Nice. Evan.
Yeah, Brad, you've been a fantastic addition to our town for politics, and it's nice as a younger guy in town to have someone younger who kind of speaks on our behalf as well. But when did you decide that you wanted to go into local politics, and what do you have any ambitions on going further than St. Andrews and maybe broaden it out a bit into the province afterwards?
Well, I gotta admire the fact that you gave me a compliment, Evan, and kept a straight face. That was pretty impressive. So thank you for that. But the reality is I grew up in St. Andrews. I moved away, and I know other people have different dreams and things like that, pursuing career, whatever it might be. But I always wanted to raise my kids in the same town that I grew up in. That to me, I've lived other places. I've enjoyed them. I felt like I was part of the community, but St. Andrews has always been my home, and to have the opportunity to raise my kids here, that is something I'm truly blessed for, and something that I will cherish and know it's been the right decision for me and my family. But when I decided to move back here, I did know I was going to be as actively involved in the community as I possibly could and give back. Did I know I'd be on town council? No, I didn't at all. Did I know I was going to be, I guess you could call myself a politician because it is the most minor level you can, but I am a politician. No, I didn't think I was going to be. But I got involved with the local Chamber of Commerce. And one thing I noticed is that although they're very dedicated individuals, and I think a council needs diversity, you're talking age, you're talking gender, you're talking career background, education, it's important to really represent a population. The youngest person that was on the St. Andrews Town Council when I moved to town was over 60 years old. So every single one of them were retirees, essentially. So when I was at the business meetings at the Chamber of Commerce, they felt there wasn't a voice for the business community on council. And they are the ones that said, Brad, would you consider it? And kind of the rest has been history. And then when I ran, I didn't think I was going to be deputy mayor or mayor. I just wanted a council seat, but things just kind of happen the way they are. And it's been, I can honestly say, such a wonderful experience for myself personally. I love this community, and I think it's one of the best ways you can give back. And although we have bad days, there's been a lot more good ones.
All right, but you dodged that question about running for office outside of St. Andrews.
All right. Good catch, Joe. I've been very fortunate where I have been approached by multiple political parties to do the job, especially at the provincial level. But the truth of the matter is getting up every day for your community and representing them. That would be very fulfilling for me. That is what I'm actually passionate about. It's something that I really cherish. But I have a young family. My kids are 12, 9, and 4. And right now they're arguing over which sport I coach and who I coach. And I know that those days aren't going to last forever. Pretty soon they're going to realize that I'm not that cool, as most of you know, and they're not going to want to have anything to do with me. So as I have a young family, if I was going to jump at another level of politics, I would want both my feet in it, and it would require quite a few nights away from my home. And the reality is when I am mayor of the town of St. Andrews, almost every night I do get to come home and be in my home with my children. And there's sacrifices we make, but life's about timing. And what I'd say is right now isn't the time for me, because right now the kids and my wife are probably the most important thing, obviously by far, in my life.
Gotcha. Good answer. All right, now you're also the managing director at the award-winning Kingsright Gardens in St. Andrews. Tell us a bit about your job responsibilities there.
Yeah, so I am. That is my job. If my only pay was mayor, my kids certainly wouldn't be doing these sports because I wouldn't be able to afford them. So you do need something when you have a young family to be able to pay your bills. And Kingsright Garden, I'm very fortunate, is my day job and what brought me to town. So I'm the managing director. We have over 60 employees. We are a 27-acre garden. We are ranked the #1 thing to do in the region for attractions. And I get to basically follow the vision and provide assistance to Lucinda Flamer, who a lot of you know. She's won the Order of Canada, Order of New Brunswick. She built this garden not because she loves gardens, but because she wanted to create employment in rural New Brunswick. She also wanted to preserve green space in our community. And she wanted to give St. Andrews another offering to make it a premier destination for people to live and also to visit. So As much as Mrs. Flamer and I spend time talking about the garden, we spend just an equally amount of time talking about how we can make St. Andrews a better place. And anyone that knows her knows she was the one that built the youth center in the community. She's helped out so many various causes. Even they had the mid-amateur golf tournament, Evan, at the Algonquin Golf Course where you work, and she bought every volunteer golf shirt for them just last year. So the list is just, I could talk hours about that. So to be able to work there and work for her, it really is something that I'm passionate about. And the only reason that I'm able to be mayor and do that is the fact that the management staff and the employees we have at Kingsright are first notch. Daniel Smits in particular, when I'm down at town hall, he's the one that's running operations here. I got a really, really good team. And I can honestly say, if you've ever been to Kingsright Garden, it's pretty easy to get up and go to work here when this is kind of what you walk through to get to your office. I'm very fortunate. And again, moving back to St. Andrews, I was happy in, the other places I live, but this has definitely been something in my life. And I encourage more people to consider moving back to their hometown. Sometimes people assume that's a sign of failure because you move back to your hometown, maybe it didn't work somewhere else. But the reality is for myself, and I know many others like Evan, it's because that's where your heart is. And I will say that when I did leave AB InBev, which was the Bat Breweries of Canada, when I let the vice president know that I was leaving the company, he did say that you're going to stop your development opportunities. And the truth is, in a small town, you can develop yourself. I would have never been on town council if I lived in a big city. I would have never been the president of the chamber if I lived in a big city. So there's a lot of things you can do in a small town. And I think that more and more people are starting to see that. And that's why we're starting to see more and more people return here. And we're very fortunate to have population growth and be the fastest growing community in New Brunswick right now.
Yeah. Evan.
Yeah, that basically just bleeds right into my question, Brad. We're so fortunate to live where we do, and same, like I moved back here under the same thing. I wanted to come back and do what I do where I'm from and give back to the place that kind of got me through it. But that's the first part of my question is what's so special and different about St. Andrews as compared to other resort tourist towns? But I think that basically bangs it on the head. But what we also do is we have some huge events for such a small place, and that does attract a lot of people. So maybe give us an idea of some of the events that we've held in the town throughout the year.
Yeah, so you're spot on St. Andrews. Basically, it is a quaint little town, but it's jam-packed. It has just as much to do in this little town with a population now 3,000 because of municipal reform, but we have just as much to offer if you go to a travel site and what you can do in this community than any major city that I know. There is that many things to do in this little community. And some are these high-end experiences, some are free. Like if you go to even our playground, it's like no other playground you've ever seen in a small town, and it costs nothing. So you can go to the Blockhouse, pay nothing. Like there's all these attractions for everyone's budget, but special events, we're right around the corner from Indulge Festival, which is a premier food and wine festival. We just got done the St. Andrews Dragon Boat Festival, where you've got a bunch of people, corporate teams that are paddling. Oktoberfest at the St. Andrews Brewing Company, and of course Pumpkin Fest is all around the corner. And this is just fall. We're not talking about how great July 1st is here. Paddle Fest, a music festival. I could go on literally almost every weekend of this community, pretty much from May to late October. There's something special happening that you want to be part of. And even then, if you get into the wintertime and the stuff they're doing around Christmas by the Sea, they've got a lot of activity now in December. It's really becoming more of a year-round destination. And a lot of the traffic which we see is around events. And of course, the Cure Amphitheater. We've got an amphitheater that seats almost half the population of our town. I've seen you there several times this summer, Evan. There's been some great activity there. So yeah, we are certainly blessed with a pile of great events to do in this community.
I've heard in August there's a basketball camp that's pretty decent.
I hear it is. I hear some of the main organizers might be considered a little bit sketchy, but no, I'm kidding. It's a first class event, and you look at as well what Tom Liston's doing in the world's oldest basketball court for people that love basketball. I'm sure he's been on this show. But Tom's a phenomenal human being, and the Archie, the golf tournament they have that raises money. There is a growing population where Charlotte County is becoming a basketball hub, and Joe, you've been a big part of making that happen, so thank you.
Thanks. I've brought some various friends up to St. Andrews, and they all fall in love with the place, first of all. And I've just always felt in the 10 years I've been there, it's sort of a non-touristy tourist town, if that makes sense. It's just like friends that came up this summer, they said it's just got such a relaxing vibe for a vibrant place, and you're certainly part of that. Well, let's finish off. Greg, go on.
No, that it's only been going 10 years because I didn't know if Evan was part of your program because I would question the results of what it produces. But I guess that started after Evan had graduated high school. So we'll excuse you on that one.
All right, let's finish off with a few lighthearted questions, then we'll let you go. Tell us something about Brad Henderson that most people would not know.
I would say that it's I'd call it a little bit odd. I've never tried a coffee in my life. Which is a mayor that has meetings. That would be very unusual. I've never had a cigarette, and I never had a tea until a tea house opened in town, and my wife said it would be rude if I didn't try one. So the fact that I've never tried coffee or cigarette, that's pretty rare, I think.
Yeah. It's that separates you from Evan, and I'll let everyone figure out if it's the coffee or the cigarettes. Now, when you head down to the wharf on a nice summer night in St. Andrews and your kids drag you into Tall Tom's, what flavor ice cream do you choose?
I'm going to skip that question. Currently, I'm on a diet. I've been sticking to it finally for the first time. I'm down 25 pounds. Thank you for noticing. My kids, though, I will buy them, and every single one of them, believe it or not, will just get a vanilla ice cream. So I can't explain it, but that's what they will pick. So, but I will cheer them on, and I'm going to stick to my diet on that question.
All right. And lastly, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this question. We're in an adult hockey league game. It's overtime. You're shooting, and Evan's in goal. Do you score for the win, or does my co-host come up with the save?
I don't know, because the reality is I would run the goalie. I would try to go right through him. Maybe the puck goes in, maybe it doesn't. But if I make solid contact, it would be. I think Evan would agree that would be the right play.
Let's keep in mind this is after he misses the net. He'd only hit me because he'd toe pick and fall.
Yeah. And Evan was a great defenseman. I don't think when he played hockey, I don't think he'd be much of a goalie, though. I think that would be a pretty big 5-hole with those long legs.
Yeah, it's a 10-hole.
Good stuff. Well, he is the mayor of St. Andrews, the Honorable Brad Henderson. Brad, I've sort of become a de facto U.S. tourism promoter for St. Andrews, and I always tell people down here what you've done for the town as a mayor, and it's nothing short of just top notch. So certainly keep up the great work, and we appreciate for our 5th anniversary show you being the only guest.
Wow, it's going to be quite a show.
Thanks for coming on.
Hopefully for a 6.
All right, well, after the break, we'll finish up our 5th anniversary show with a few more messages of congratulations from some old friends, and you are watching Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV and St. Andrews.
Hi, David Miles here. I just wanted to congratulate Evan and Joe on 5 years of being on the air at CHCO-TV. Here's to many more. Peace.
Welcome back. That was singer-songwriter David Miles. Pretty much all of our Canadian viewers know who he is, but for those in the States who haven't heard of him, he's a 2-time Juno Award winner, which are Canada's equivalent of the Grammys. And David's pretty down-to-earth, charitable guy who I met for the first time this past August at the clinic put on by the world's oldest basketball committee, and hopefully one of these days we'll get him on the show. Besides being an amazing musician, he's also a huge basketball fan.
And just like one of the most humble people I think I've ever met. I've seen David play a bunch of times, and he just recently took up golf. And he said, I got to try it, all these fundraisers and stuff that want me to play. So he came down for the Archie, and he showed up. I said, Dave, you don't have any golf clubs. I got to get you some rentals. And he said, yeah. And I said, do you know what hand you are? And he sat, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but he kind of strummed his air guitar for a second, goes, I think that's right-handed. Got a blast out there. He's a natural.
Pretty awesome guy. And before we leave, I just wanted to comment. This was the shirt, if you notice, that I wore in the first episode. I don't really change my clothing too often.
I'm 65 pounds heavier than I was then, believe it or not, so it doesn't really fit anymore.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah, well, some good stuff there. Well, partner, that is it for episode 76, our
Wild.
5th anniversary episode of Mc&T Sports Report. I'm Joe here in New Haven.
I'm Evan here in St. Andrews.
And I guess it's on to season 6 next month.
Wow.
You got a mug or anything there?
I'm on the City Gin, what we call water. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, man. All right. Well, to finish up the anniversary show, we have one last congratulatory clip. Our old friend and former guest on the show, sportscaster Dan Patrick, formerly of ESPN. He's hosted Sports Center in the past with Keith Olbermann. He's also had cameo roles in over 20 movies and currently hosts a daily show on Fox Sports Radio and the Peacock Network. So as we fade to black, we will let Dan have the final word. This is Mc&T Sports Report on CHCO-TV. Thanks so much for watching over the years.
Who would have thought? You guys make it 5 years. I had the under. Evan and Joe, congratulations. Dan Patrick here in the man cave. Paulie and Seaton and Fritzy are here as well. Can you believe Evan and Joe made it 5 years?
Evan, yes. Joe, no.
Oh, Joe, no. Yeah. Round of applause for you. Yeah, we're really happy for you.
Here's to the next 5.
Maybe the next year. Let's don't get too far ahead of ourselves. Thank you, Todd. I hope you guys have a great anniversary and don't bother me again. Thank you.
Not in that order.